Soles for Souls distribute shoes all over the country and the entire world. But their most recent trip made history thanks to the help of Vanderbilt University athletes. News Channel 5's Andrea Klein-Thomas was there as they returned from their historic trip to Cuba.
Well, Shannon, they had been planning this trip for a year, and it was just a coincidence that the group was in Cuba as the United States restored diplomatic relationships with the country after more than 50 years.
The group of student athletes from Vanderbilt University arrived at Nashville's International Airport Sunday morning, a little sleep deprived.
This was just kind of all the scenery as we were going into Havana.
But full of memories.
I feel like my whole life has just been about sports, and I haven't had time to do something service related.
For lacrosse player Alexa Kanowski, going to Cuba allowed her to return to a country her family left more than 50 years ago.
It was kind of almost surreal walking around being like, oh, my grandma's walked here before, and my aunts and uncles.
And her visit is literally etched in history. On Monday, the United States restored diplomatic relations with Cuba.
It was cool just being there, and we saw a bunch of people trying to get visas and stuff like that.
Vanderbilt University partnered with nonprofit Soles for Souls to distribute 700 pairs of shoes to children.
It was just amazing, just seeing the looks on their faces. We would line them up and size their feet and then give them a pair of shoes and then play with them. We'd help them draw on their shoes and decorate them.
Soles for Souls takes groups all over the world, but planning this trip was much different.
Rules and regulations that we don't necessarily consider apply to their everyday interactions.
It was a new experience for everyone in the group. Many say they hope to have another chance to go back.
It was just an awesome opportunity, not only just to learn about the history and be there for such a historical moment, but also to be able to help others and people in need who only wish they had the things that we just can throw away.
Despite the renewed relationship with Cuba, trade embargoes still exist. Secretary John Kerry is scheduled to visit the country on August the 14th. It will be the first visit by U.S. Secretary of State since 1945.